Hello and welcome to today's speed build. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining us, and if not, then welcome back. So today I am super excited because we are building a base game home in the world of Newcrest. Now, if you've been on the channel for a while, you'll probably know that I have never ever done a base game home, honestly, because they kind of scare me. I have always had this thing of like, if I do a base game home, it's not going to look as good as what I'm used to doing, and yeah, it's always just kind of scared me. But I really wanted to do one, and I'm really glad I did because this was super refreshing. It actually felt so nice to not be like overwhelmed with so much packs and clutter and just have the base game to work with. And I know that so many people just play with base games, so I thought this home would be really good for people like that, especially because when I do builds, they definitely are not like pack friendly. I don't really restrict myself, which I always feel really bad about because I have a look at the end to see what packs I've used, and normally I've used like every pack, every kit, and it's a lot, you know, like it is a lot. So yeah, we are just using base game today, and I hope you like this one. Now this residential ends up being 144,829 simoleons, which obviously is not like starter home price. It is quite expensive, so I'm sorry about that. Maybe one day I will do a budgeted build as well, because that is something that I also seem to struggle with doing. But I built this on a 30 by 30 lot, and it contains 5 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, and this is a generations home, so this ends up being big enough for all of your Sims. Now there ends up being a room for an infant, 2 children, a teenager, a grandparent, and also parents. So there ends up being room for about 7 Sims. You could do 8 Sims. See, if you wanted to replace the bed in the grandparents' room and make it a double bed, that could be 8 Sims. But yeah, this is big enough, and there's enough space for you to make it a generations home. There is also a room that I turned into a playroom, and if you wanted that to be a bedroom instead, then you could definitely do that. But yeah, so something I was thinking about when I was doing this build is, because it's very pack restricted, I still wanted it to look really nice. I still wanted it to have a nice vibe to it, and I still wanted there to be lots to do, you know. Just because it's base game doesn't mean it needs to be boring, and I don't know, I feel like that's what scares me so much. But honestly, there's a lot of good stuff with base game. So I was trying my best to really decorate the outside of this place and have it look nice and have it kind of look really full and have enough space for your Sims to do stuff. Now this build does not have a back garden, but we have like a really big front garden that has loads of stuff going on. So as you can see, I'm kind of filling it up with terrain paint and loads of plants right now, and I loved the way this looked. I was just having so much fun taking all the plants out and like, I don't know, just organising them and making them look really cute. We have so many plants with base game, and they look so nice. Like this little, I believe it's a debug item, but there's this little plant that you can see, and it's like a bunch of little daisies and like bits of grass, and that is such a nice like little piece that we have. So I put those like all over the garden, and I think it looks so nice. Now something I was really shocked about was that base game does not have a swing set. Like I looked for so long for a swing set. It was unbelievable. I was like, I'm sure there is one. And like I took off all of the pack restrictions just to have a look, and it turns out I'm pretty sure the first pack that we got a swing set with was Seasons, and we do not have one with base game, which is crazy. I don't know, I feel like that should be in base game, like a swing set. Like I don't know, I was so shocked. I was like, really? We don't have one? We do have monkey bars though, which is really good, especially if you have more than one kid, because I believe 3 kids can use the monkey bars at one time. So yeah, it's not too bad, but I just really expected there to be a swing set in base game. And yeah, I don't know, I feel like, you know, there's a lot of parts of the base game that I think are really lacking, but at the same time, they have been going through and trying to fix that, and we can see that with a lot of the swatches they've changed. Like, I know they went back and they had a look for some of the book swatches, and I know they changed those to be a bit more like, because I think we used to have this specific little like bookshelf piece, and the colors were just like these bright colors, and then like, I don't know, like browns, and then there was one that was like green and orange, and then they went back and they've changed it now, so we have like a white set and a black set, and I think there's like blues and pinks, and they've made it a lot nicer, and I'm really glad they did that. So I think they're going through with a lot of their items and doing that, and I'm really glad, because yeah, as I said, I was kind of going through and I was like, do we really not have this? There was a few things that I thought were base game that were grown together, like I think it's the tummy time mat. Like, I thought that was base game, but it was not. And yeah, I was really surprised about that as well. But nevertheless, I still think this build looks really, really nice with just the base game and all the items I can find. Now, I did use a lot of debug as well, and that really helped, because we know that I like to clutter things up. It's kind of my thing. I like cluttering things. It's just fun to like have things really cluttered up. I don't know. It's kind of like my thing. And I struggled doing that with a lot less items. So yeah, I managed to make it work, and I actually really like the inside of this build and the outside. I think it ended up looking really nice. Now, I was trying to make this place very, very functional, because obviously if you're playing with your Sims, you're going to want to have lots of stuff to do. So I ended up putting a chess table outside, some little planters. There ends up being a pool, and you'll kind of see, so I end up moving the planters and putting a pool. There is a little garage at the back here. Now, originally you can see I like made my own little garage, and I thought it looked really cute, but then I realised that we actually have a base game garage door in debug. So I end up using that. For some reason I thought it came with set 11, but it didn't. It's actually in base game, so that was really nice. So I end up changing that, and I also end up changing the whole driveway, just because it didn't look like a driveway. Like, realistically, that car could not go through the path. So I end up changing it because, I don't know, it didn't look realistic, I suppose. And yeah, I just ended up putting loads of plants in these little spaces, because I just thought it looked so good, like having those spaces just be filled up with loads of plants. Sorry, I just whacked the mic, sorry if you heard that. But yeah, like, I felt like it made it look a lot more full and a lot more nice, and it just, I don't know, I just liked the way it looked. Now, I think, although there doesn't end up being a back garden, I still end up doing the back, so there ends up being some like trees and some flowers back there. I don't really think there is room for anything. You could maybe add like a little decking, and you could put, so I end up putting a barbecue around the front, but you could put the barbecue around the back if you wanted to. That's completely up to you. I think it's definitely doable though. Now, here is the little pool that I end up doing, and you can see I made it like a really weird shape. I just didn't want it to be a square. I feel like if you make them look a little bit different, it just makes the place look a little bit more interesting. So it's this weird little shape. But yeah, I thought it was nice to just have a pool. By the looks of this house, the inside and the outside, I would say that this family probably has quite a good bit of money. It is a generation's home, so obviously it's been passed down. So I feel like maybe the family isn't necessarily like really, really wealthy, but because it's been passed down from generations, they've built it up and up, and because they've had it for so long, obviously they'll not really need to pay for the house anymore, because they've had it for like ages. So, you know, they're just kind of spending their time doing what's it called, just like upgrading it and doing renovations and things like that. But yeah, here's where I ended up adding some more trees, and I felt like they looked a little bit too big, so I started adding these like little small stubby ones, which I think are really nice. They kind of look the exact same as the tall ones, which again, I thought these tall trees were from, I want to say Get Together, I think that's what it's called. I thought that's what they were from. No, they're not. These are base game as well. I think there is ones from Get Together, but yeah, there is some in base game as well. So it's really nice. I don't know. I feel like there's so many things that I thought like, oh, that's from this pack and that's from this pack, and no, they're not. They're base game. They're base game. Now I ended up adding these cute little lights all over the place, which I thought looked really nice. And then here's me adding that garage door that I was talking about. And you can see that I kind of changed the garage area because it just, I don't know, you can let me know, but I feel like it looks better like this. Oh, also I couldn't find any ivy to like put up the chimney, so I ended up finding these little planters. And I think they look so nice, like, so I just put that for a little bit extra detail. And then I added this debug fence in the little hedge area because I felt like it looked a little bit too perfect, if that makes sense. Like just having like the hedge all the way around, I thought it looks a little bit nicer to have that. I end up taking away one of the gates as well and making it the debug gate, which I think looks a lot better too. So yeah, and you can see I added some debug items. I added the watering can, some fertilizer, and then also some seeds. So if you do download this build, which by the way is on the gallery, don't think I've mentioned, but yeah, if you do download this, there should be a few seeds to like get you started with your planters. But yeah, now we're moving on to the inside of the house finally, and it ends up being really big on the inside, which I didn't expect. I didn't think I'd made it too big, but I always do this. I always make it really big and then I don't realise. Now, I was really stuck for what colours to go for on the inside because I struggled with wallpaper for a start. Now, if you know me, you'll know that whenever I do wallpaper in The Sims, I normally always gravitate towards the ones from Parenthood because they have these really nice swatches that are just like, it's just like wood on the bottom and then there's just like a nice colour on the top, and that's what I always gravitate towards. But they don't really have those. They sort of do. That's kind of what I've used here, but they're a little bit more rundown looking and the colours aren't as vibrant. There isn't as many options, but I ended up finding this swatch which took ages and I was like, no, I can make that work. So I think the theme I was trying to go for was like light tones and dark tones of wood, not like super light tones, not like white toned wood, but like I end up going for quite spruce looking wood and then like oak looking wood. I don't know if this is just me thinking about Minecraft wood, but if you know Minecraft wood, you'll know what I'm talking about. So I ended up using those and I think it looks really nice. I was trying to do different ones, like, I don't know, kind of alternate between different stuff because I thought it would look a little bit better. And yeah, something I think The Sims needs to add to base game is more sofas, because this sofa was honestly the only option I had. Like the other ones just looked, I don't know, some of them looked a little bit too modern for a room like this, like a house like this, and some of them just, I don't know, some of them looked a little bit too, I don't even know how to describe it. You know how like when you load up the game and you go to like Bella Goth's house and it's like really in your face, like that really in your face red. That's kind of what the other options are. Like they're very like that green and that red and that like pink that they have, like this sort of magenta color, and it's not great. So I feel like they definitely need to add a little bit more variety when it comes to sofas. Now, something I want to talk about, I know that we're doing base game right now, but the Modern Luxe kit was just released and I am super excited about it because I am not very good at modern. I've talked about this loads and loads of times, but I was playing around with that kit and honestly it feels like it is so easy to decorate like with that kit despite not being good with modern. Another thing I realised, and that's why I wanted to talk about the kit, is we can now filter by kit. And I realised that when I got the Modern Luxe kit, we can now filter by kit, and that's something we have not been able to do for a long time. I think the Sims team probably realised we're getting way too many kits for us to not be able to filter by kit. Now, it didn't really affect me because I had the Twisted Mixie mod anyway, which allowed me to do that. But it's really good for people that, you know, don't have those mods, and also just in general, like, that's something that shouldn't need to be modded. That's something that we should just have in the game, and I'm really glad that we do, so I'm really happy about that. I feel like people definitely have very mixed opinions on kits. My opinion personally is I understand why people don't like kits, because we used to have like game packs, and with game packs you got lots of gameplay options, and now we don't, and I understand like why people, you know, why that annoys people. At the same time, I feel like for people that don't really want to spend much money on like packs and stuff, kits are really, really good, because kits are like, you get this little piece of gameplay, like you're paying like a very small amount just to get this little small like piece of gameplay to add to your game, and I feel like it's good. Like, if you don't want to spend loads of money on the game, but you're like, I like the look of this and I like the look of this, I feel like with kits like the Modern Luxe kit, it's a little bit better, because you're getting, I think it's more worth your money. With kits like that, you're getting like a bed, and you're getting a desk and drawers, and you're getting like all this nice furniture. There's some kits that aren't like that, like for example the bathroom clutter kit. I think with that you probably wouldn't just like get it, because it's not really like, we didn't get baths, we didn't get toilets, we didn't get sinks, we literally just got clutter items. So it's just like toilet roll and toothpaste and things like that, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, I've been rambling for ages, but let me know your opinion on kits. I know that some people don't like them, I know that some people do like them, but yeah, anyway, so now we are getting to the hallway, and I just done the kitchen. Now, the kitchen wasn't really my favourite room that I didn't absolutely love it. I feel like it looks a little bit weird. I was trying to clutter it up as much as possible. I actually got these like little debug cooking books that I put on top of the fridge, because normally I would use the like cool kitchen kit, I think that's what it's called, and it has like this cute little cooking book in it, cookbook, but obviously I couldn't use that, so I went into debug, and yeah, I think it still looks really nice. Honestly, I feel like, see, if you just find the items in base game and debug, you'll be like, oh, there's actually a lot more items than I thought. Like, I don't know, it's a lot easier to kind of do it by debug, if that makes sense, because you get to see more. Like, I think I added some like debug bottles to the kitchen as well, which looked really cute. But yeah, we're moving on to the dining room now, and as I said, there's about 7 to 8 Sims in this house, so there is 8 seats at the dining table, I believe, so there should be enough for all of your Sims. If your Sims are anything like mine though, then it really won't matter, because they will not all sit at the table at the same time anyway, because mine do not. Mine decide, some are going to sit in the living room, some are going to sit in the kitchen, some are going to sit in the dining room, so yeah, there's that. But anyway, I really like how the dining room looks. I think it's super bright, and it ends up just being a nice like room for your Sims to just sit and do stuff that, yeah, just like sit and like do stuff like homework and things like that. I don't know, do you do that with your Sims? Whenever I play, I always get the kids to do homework at like the dining table. I don't even know why, I just think it's like nice. Now, this ends up being the first bedroom that you see me do. So this is the teenager's bedroom, and this bedroom is supposed to be for like a teenage girl, and it's very pink, but I love it. We actually have some really nice curtain and wallpaper swatches with base game, and I love how they look. So I use this like really nice pink. It's like a blush pink. I think that's what it is. I don't know if it's called that or if I made that up, but it's like a really, really nice pink. And then I use this kind of reddy pink brick as a sort of feature wall. And then yeah, I just started to like, I don't know, I was trying to get creative with this room, so I put a vanity, and then I put the chair in front of the like mirror to have it look like they would kind of sit and do their makeup there. And then there's just like nail polish on the floor, there's perfume on the drawers, and then I put little posters because I feel like it's just such a teenager thing to have posters. And I'm so glad we have this cute little It Takes Two poster because I love It Takes Two. I've played it and I loved it. And every time I see that poster in game, I'm like, oh, I love it. But yeah, so this ends up being the room. It's actually very, very simple, but it's really sweet. It's just very pink, and there's not too much going on, but I think it looks nice. Now this ends up being the playroom, and I tried to add as much here as I could. So there's a toy box, a dollhouse, and then there's like their little stuffy, there's a few little toys on the floor, and then there's just like lots of nice little decals on the wall. And then I just added like little decorations and things like that, and I think I also added down a rug, but I thought this was really nice. I don't normally incorporate what are they called, playrooms into my builds, but I don't know, I felt like for a big family it would probably be quite normal, so I thought that was nice. Now you'll see I've been doing this thing with the paintings. I am using the tool mod and I'm just angling them and then like placing them on the shelves, and I think it looks really nice. You don't actually need the tool mod, like, so when you download this, like, you will not need the tool mod. They will still look like that. Hopefully that makes sense. Like, you don't need it, but obviously if you try and move them, they'll kind of snap back to how they're supposed to be. But yeah, as long as you don't move them, they will just sit there and be fine. Now here is the bathroom, and I don't normally show me doing bathrooms, but we've got a little bit of a bigger one today, and I thought I may as well just show it, especially because like we're doing a base game build and I'm kind of showing like how things can look in base game. So yeah, I don't know, I thought it looked quite nice. The bathroom is very basic, it's very like light colours and things, but I think it's super nice. And also I added a potty downstairs because, as you can see, the infant's room is downstairs, so I was trying to make it really easy for you guys because it's really annoying having to like take a toddler upstairs or take a toddler downstairs, or an infant, even worse actually, because toddlers can at least crawl up and downstairs, infants cannot. So yeah, I tried to make it as easy as possible and have it so they're on the same floor. Now here is one of the last bedrooms I end up doing. I think I do 2 more after this, but this ends up being the kids' bedroom, and I spent so long on this room. I don't even know why I spent so long. I think because I was trying to make it look perfect, but I think this room ends up looking so nice. So we do actually have bunk beds in base game, which is amazing. I'm so glad, because I love bunk beds. I mean, I feel like it's a very like controversial thing. Like, some people love bunk beds and some people hate them. I love them, but I never use them like as bunk beds, if that makes sense. I use them like I am right now. Like, I do like a high bed and then a low bed, and I sometimes do bunk beds, like very, very occasionally sometimes, but most of the time I'll do it like this, and I'll do like 2 kind of polar opposite sides of the room, if that makes sense. But yeah, I wanted this to feel very like twin-like and feel like this is my side of the room, this is my side of the room, and have like each side of the room completely different, and even do the wallpaper differently, because I feel like that's such like a sibling thing. Oh, by the way, this room is meant to be for 2 brothers. I don't know if I said that, but yeah, this is supposed to be 2 brothers and their kids, so they're probably in the same class. And yeah, I was thinking not twins, like I was thinking just brothers that are very, very close in age, but obviously if you want to play with twins, you could totally do that as well. But I loved decorating this room. I feel like it looks so nice, especially with those new rugs that we got. I thought for ages that those rugs came have grown together, but no, they are base game, which is so good, because they are like my favourite kid rugs that we have in the game. They just look so good, like so good. I'm also glad that they added that little like fox basket. I think that looks so nice as well. But yeah, anyway, I know that you just see me change that to blue, but I ended up changing it back to silver because I thought I thought the silver looked better. Anyway, here is the grandparents' bedroom, and this is just for one grandparent. It's a very, very small room, so I tried to add as much to it as I could. I was trying to add like these brick walls, but I felt like it looked like prison, so I ended up changing the wallpaper to be like this really nice teal blue, which I think looks a little bit nicer, a little bit more welcoming. Now, the grandparent is really lucky. They have a TV in their room. I don't think anyone else has a TV in their room. Actually, I think the teenager, I might have put a TV in their room. But I don't think I put a TV in the parents' room, and I definitely didn't put one in the kids' room. So, yeah. Now, I was thinking this is probably for a gran. You, again, like, I don't know if you can fit a double bed in this room, but there is obviously the playroom downstairs, so you could even swap the rooms and make this a playroom and then put like a double bed in the room downstairs and have it for 2 grandparents if that's what you wanted. I was just thinking like 1 grandparent, which is why it's the way that it is. But here is the final room in the house, and this is the parents' bedroom, and it is very, very simple. I just put a double bed. I went for this blue theme. I think I do end up changing the bed swatch because there was a little bit too much like blue going on. I think I change it, but yeah, there ends up being a little chair, which I don't even think is accessible. Oh yeah, I changed the whole bed altogether. That's what I did, because I felt like I had used that bed way too much. And then we're just decorating the upstairs, and it's very, very simple. I just went for this kind of like living space upstairs, not necessarily like a living room, but I just wanted it to be cozy and so your Sims can kind of sit. Now I think the last room we do is the oh no, I think this is the last room we do. Yes, this is the last room in the house. And then we move on to the garage. So the garage is supposed to just be a little activity room. I just added lots of stuff like gym equipment. And then I think there might be like an easel in here or something. I'm not too sure, don't remember. But yeah, that is pretty much the end of the video. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this one. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. And yeah, if you did enjoy, please make sure to like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!